Okay. Whew. Dude, why am I doing this? I don't know. Okay. Okay. I can do this. Okay, so, hi, my name is Willa. I have Tourette syndrome, and I'm going to be talking about something that Carly over at Ticking Together has talked about, but, so go watch her video, but I'm going to be talking about Tourette's and going to church. So, a couple of days ago, I went to church to go celebrate a family member and support her, and I had a really hard time, understandably. And there are several reasons for this. First of all is the obvious, the coprolalia tics, or the swearing/vulgar tics. Those can be really difficult in church because it can be very taboo to say certain things in a church space. So that's, obvious and stuff like that. But there are a couple other reasons why church is hard as well. You have to sit still for an extended period of time. So that can be really difficult, especially as one with motor tics. I was trying really hard to stay still in my chair and stuff like that, but it's really difficult, especially because the more that you try to suppress your tics, the worse that they get when they build up and build up. And another reason is because church is so silent. It can be really, really hard to be quiet as somebody with Tourette's because I have not just motor tics, but vocal tics as well. And not all of them are vulgar. In fact, most of them are not. Most of them are whistling or lip trilling or things like that. But it can be hard to be quiet in a solemn, quiet space where you're supposed to where you're supposed to be respectful. And so that can also be really hard because the harder you try to suppress, the more buildup of energy there's going to be in the long run. So eventually it has to be let out. And sometimes that can happen in the middle of a church service. In addition, it's really hard to suppress in general, and so I'm not always successful at it, which means that I do get stared at, I do get looked at, and I am the only thing competing with the preacher for the attention of the congregation. Which can be really hard because in a big crowd and stuff, there's lots of things competing for everybody's attention. There's lots of people doing things, talking about things, stuff like that. So even in a big crowd, some people are staring at me, yes, but I'm not the only topic of attention. In church, however, it's pretty much just me and the preacher. And so everybody else is sitting still and quiet and calm and contemplative, and I'm sitting there and I'm trying my best not to squirm out of my chair and whistle and do all of these things that would lead to the attention coming off the preacher and onto me. And so it can be really difficult because the more that I try not to tic, the more anxious I get because I'm like, wow, everybody's staring at me, and I get anxious, which means that I tic more, which means that I have to work harder to suppress, which means that the buildup gets worse and worse and worse. And so it can be really, really difficult to go to church, not only for during church trying to suppress my tics, but after church. I have such a buildup of tic energy that it can often lead to tic attacks or big tic episodes and stuff like that. So church is really, really difficult for so many reasons. But yeah, church with Tourette's can be really, really difficult, but it's important to remember that we are trying our best, just like everybody else, to be respectful, and we're not trying inherently to disrupt or disgrace or anything like that. So just remember to have grace with us and be patient, and yeah, we're trying to fit in like anybody else.